Morning, lovelies. Just starting where you want to. Indoors or outdoors, perhaps, and either seated or lying down, whatever you feel like this morning. And the weather is still rather nice at the moment, so probably not too hot. Nice temperature. Just settle. If you've had a busy morning so far, just allow everything to slow down a little bit. Send your roots into Mother Earth. Connect with root chakra, Muladhara, base of the spine. And maybe just check through the rest of the chakras, sacral, belly and lower back. Solar plexus, so sort of mid-body and mid-spine. Heart end area, which links with shoulders and arms, upper back. Checking in with throat, Vishuddhi, and how you feel around the neck. Lower part of the jaw, this links with. And then third eye and crown. Just noticing if everything feels normal, or if you just particularly notice something out of balance when you internally gaze at these areas. And how busy is the mind today? Is it really busy? Lots of things to think about, big to-do list? And if so, let's just sort of try and quieten it down. Follow the breath. Tune into the breath, how it feels to breathe with the body. It draws you into the present moment, into this space. And then, if you're lying down, take your time, but just draw your knees in. We're going to come to seated, and if you're already seated, just maybe gentle movement to make sure you're comfortable. We'll practice the mindfulness of breath, which is a lovely... I really like this practice because it has the parts where you focus, the beginning parts where we focus on the count, and it sort of naturally takes us into that space where we're not doing anything, but yet we've sort of primed ourselves to be quite quiet and aware of the breath. And I think that's what the stages are for, is to get us into that real quiet space where, you know, the brainwaves start to, you feel them drop. So just a reminder, the first part we count the out breath to 1 to 10, then we switch to the in breath 1 to 10, then we drop the breathing counting altogether, and then we really just tune into how we're feeling as we breathe and what we're noticing. So resting the hands in Dhyana Mudra, and usually this takes about 5 minutes, so relax your face, drop the eyelids, relax your body, and then we'll begin in. So on the out breath, 1 to 10. There's no rush, you can really let the breath be quite long. And relaxing even more. If you haven't already, switch into the in-breath. Release the breath, releasing the count rather. Just taking some time now just to really tune into the sensation of the breath around the nostrils, the chest and the belly, top lip. Notice where your thoughts are. Just take one lovely long breath. And blinking your eyes open, just coming back. How did that feel? That's probably one of my favourite ways of meditating actually, because there's a lovely structure to it, and you can sort of end whenever you want it to, but it just sort of draws you down that lovely little route of getting into a lovely relaxation. So we're going to come into mantis. Lovely stretch through out back. So when you're ready, just taking knees wide and feet together and then coming down. If you want a little sort of cushion under the chest or belly, that can always be quite comforting. And if you need to support behind your knees with a rolled blanket, that can soften the compression. And so it's just surrendering into this pose. It is a really lovely surrendering pose. Just allow whatever you feel, physically, emotionally. Softening into your upper back. How does it feel around your shoulder blades? And if you want to, you can bring your hands above your head in prayer into praying mantis, just to feel a little bit of a stretch in the triceps. How does it feel in the top of the hip flexors, tops of the legs? Belly breaths. Just checking in with how it feels on the inner thighs. This is really lovely for your stomach channel, which relates to the season of late summer that we're in, the spleen and stomach. So just gently we'll take a breath. Lift your head slowly as you draw the hands back. Head's been really low. Noticing how you feel in that upper back as you kind of come back into a normal shape. And then, as always, neutral spine. Relax back. And just being curious as to what you feel, whether there's a really lovely kind of coolness around the tops of your legs, around the pelvis, the groin area where we've been compressed here. Certainly tops of the feet might start feeling tingly, and your shins. All areas that we've stimulated physically and energetically. Lovely for your third eye, where we've had the forehead down on the mat as well. Let the breath be deep into the belly if it feels shallow in the chest. Really start to relax your back. Quite often we're still holding a little bit of a tension and a structure through our body. See if you can relax. And again, just awareness on your feet, whether the toes have got a lovely little tingly feeling. So when you're ready, let's hug in, right knee, then left knee. Take a moment here, just enjoy rocking. How do you feel in your body today? Some days we wake up and we feel a bit bleh. Other days we might feel quite bright and cheery. So just where are you on that spectrum of feeling connected to yourself? Coming up, dragonfly next. So take your legs out wide. Either with or without something just under the buttocks, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then when you're ready, just allowing yourself to sink into this. And I always like to sort of take stock of where I am, where I start with. You know, how far your elbows are away from the floor on the mat. And then where you end up 5 minutes later. Try and let go all the tension through the feet and the legs, backs of the knees. Feeling the stretch, enjoying the stretch, but not in a tense way. Just returning to the feet and ankles in case they sort of do tense up. Deep breaths. Every now and then, just see if you can creep yourself a little bit further forward and lower to the mat. See where the stretch has allowed a bit more flexibility. And how do you feel in this pose? Is it a challenge? Or do you really enjoy the challenge of feeling this quite deeply in the body? Just following your breath. And witnessing your thoughts in the moment. And we'll just take one more minute here. So just noticing if there's a little bit more movement for you or whether you're at your limit. Acknowledging both is just as important. Enjoying the breath as it moves into your back as you take belly breaths. And then just one more. We'll slowly come up. Feeling that release of the stretch in certainly the inner legs initially. And then relaxing back into neutral. And just awareness on that lower back especially, what you're feeling. What you're feeling through your legs and what part of the legs as well, whether it's more around the inside of the knees, inner thighs. Follow where the chi is giving you any sign of movement. And just following your breath, the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. How fast or slow your breath is, what's the quality? Are you fully relaxed through the back of your body? And then gently we'll draw knees in. We're going to come into heart bench next. So we've been forward with the body with dragonfly. And this will just bring a nice gentle curve into our lumbar spine to counter pose. So 2 blocks. One for the head and one behind the heart, long ways. Gently lowering yourself down. Find that perfect sort of position that you can rest in. And it might take a few movements of the block behind your back just to get it just right. It will feel strange initially always, but you get used to it. And maybe a deep breath and relax. Notice how much tension you're holding in the back of the neck. Just let the chin tilt in a little. Noticing what you're feeling in the lower spine, a very gentle curve there. And you can have your arms wherever you want to in this pose, sort of really out level with the shoulders, or, if you want to, you can raise them, bring them above your head for a moment. Cactus encourages that lovely stretch, or just resting wherever you're comfortable. And this centers so very much on our heart energy. Works with our throat as well, but how is your heart feeling today? And I like to kind of roll through the phrases of open-hearted, half-hearted, closed-hearted. Lots of little sayings that link with the state of our heart energy. Anyone that needs a little bit of love and compassion or thoughts, take this opportunity to just sort of feel like the heart is opening and you can send it to them across the universal airwaves, through space and time, doesn't matter. where that other energy is. So noticing if you like the pose today. There might be times when you come in this pose and it actually really opens up an emotion for you that maybe you were unaware of, and it could be welcome or unwelcome in the moment. Just go with it. And then we'll take a few more breaths. And just before we move, just noticing how perhaps you got used to this pose. Lift your head and then lift your body. Allow your arms to support, and then just coming back down. How do you feel? The word that comes into my mind is very nourished around this heart and back. But you might all different have a different word that comes to mind. Relief, perhaps. And just watching the sensations fade ever so gently. And then we'll draw knees in. We're going to come into cat's tail next. So a twist. If you've got a cushion, just grab it so that it's near the head. And then we'll start by lying on our right side. So right side, left knee over and in line with hip. Grab your right foot if you can. And then just rolling back. I like to have the pillow for my head because it just takes all of the pressure out of the neck. If you haven't got one, then I'll often cradle my head in my right hand. But whatever you've got handy. And just enjoy this twist to whatever degree you want to. Lovely stretch in your right quad muscle as you hold your foot. Feeling a nice stretch through the side of the left ribs and left side of the body. Try and relax your buttocks and lower back. Quite often they'll be tense to start with. And just loosely holding your foot. Try not to be tense in the hand or the wrist. Deep breaths. And as you soften into this pose, you can start to explore rolling that left shoulder further back. Or you can just stay exactly where you are if you're comfortable. Relaxing your head and neck. And keep checking in with the buttocks and lower back in case you just find the tension again. How does this feel? And follow your breath as it sort of corkscrews through your body. Let's just take one more breath. Slowly rolling onto your side again, releasing your foot. And then very gradually, in whatever way is best for you, coming onto your back. Nice slow movements. We've been in this twist, so just allowing the spine to gently reset. And just sort of enjoying the feeling of everything just kind of going back into its natural shape. What you're noticing through your left waist, perhaps any sensation around the tops of the legs. We've had the legs crossed a little. Shoulders, neck. You might feel warmth as well as coldness in places. And just watching the feelings fade away. We'll hug in, gentle rock, and then other side. So I shall come over the other way, so I'm facing you. So lying on your left side now, right leg comes over. Use your pillow if you've got one. And then grabbing your foot. Just taking that roll back very gradually and as you wish. Notice if your tummy starts rumbling as well. Sometimes in a twist it does stimulate the belly. And then if you want to, just close your eyes, relax your neck, just release the buttocks and thighs. Follow your breath. As you hold your foot, if you're able, just a nice loose grip. There could even be tension through that bent leg. And enjoying where you feel the breath move in your body. Whether you can notice it in your lower back, certainly the side of your waist on the right. Perhaps it feels like it's moving into the right lung a lot more. The gentle movement of your shoulder. Relaxing your thighs. How does this pose feel in your body today? Perhaps refreshing, working very much with solar plexus. So one more breath. Gently releasing your foot and coming onto your back slowly. Take your time. It really allows you to feel your back. Notice anything that, is twingy and relaxing. Being aware of perhaps your neck where there might have been a bit of tightness still. How does that feel? Relax the lower back. Following your breath, very soft belly breaths. And then we'll draw the knees in for a moment. We're going to come into banana next. So we've come forwards and backwards, a twist, and now a lovely side stretch to each side of the body is another gallbladder stimulating posture, as well as cat's tail. So bring your legs back down to the mat and we'll go right, as I always usually start right. Feet to the lower right corner and right foot over left, and then shoulders to the top right. Just release the buttocks, make yourself comfortable. And then relaxing wherever your arms want to go. If you want to take them overhead or cactus or by your body. Try to relax lower back and buttocks. And just noticing how you feel in this pose today, whether you're really quite happy to be in a very gentle, soft stretch here, or whether you are finding yourself really kind of on the edge of your threshold of the stretch. And in this pose, you can really enjoy following your breath in your belly and that movement up into chest, up to collarbone. See how long you can stay following your full breaths before your mind wanders and the breath usually shallows a little bit. Are your arms relaxed and your wrists and hands? Just take 3 more conscious breaths. Really stay with them. Take your time with the breath. And when you're ready, just gently move those few inches from top to bottom into neutral spine. Take a few moments to feel. So when we move to the right, we're stretching the left, that feminine Ida side of our body. And if you want to just draw the knees in for a moment before we come into the other side, it always feels quite nice just to curve the back a little, massage that lower spine. And then we'll come back into banana on the left. So feet left, left over right foot, and then shuffling shoulders upwards to the left. Releasing sort of the buttocks as you move, just so you're comfortable. Relaxing head and neck and face. And find if there's any tightness in the sides of your waist and your abdomen. Just relaxing. Seeing if you can just stay with your breath. How does this side feel? Is there any difference in what you notice physically? Keep trying to relax your waist. And notice what's going through your mind. It's interesting as we're stretching the masculine part, Pingala, whether there are more masculine thoughts that come to your mind this side and maybe more feminine when you were stimulating other side. That's always a curious thing to observe. And then we'll take 3 conscious breaths. And maybe when we do this, we can actually say, I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. In your mind, I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. And just one more. Just saying those words of what we're actually doing can keep you very focused on doing that. So just gently now coming back into a nice neutral spine. Take your time as you move very gently and observe whatever you feel. Such powerful pose, banana. Even though it's simple, you really do have an after effect with it. So very nourishing on the spine, the side stretches and the twists. Let's draw the knees in, and then we're going to come into relaxation in whatever position you want to choose. You can roll up to seated or stay lying down comfortably. Just let yourself get cozy. So I think with one of you getting that little feather earlier, we'll take an angel card and see if there's any lovely words of guidance for us today that resonate. And as I shuffle these, always kind of have a thought in mind maybe. What do you need to hear today? What's been puzzling you? What do you need an answer to? And often I'll just take one with my eyes closed. And it's Francesca. So let me read this one to you. So relaxing. This one says, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. You've been asking God and the angels, what is next for me? Yet we have been waiting for you to make that decision for yourself. That is why you have felt stuck lately. This impasse occurs because you are afraid of making a wrong decision. We can help you to decide, but ultimately the next chapter of your life is up to you. This is a period of your life that is unscripted. Your desires are like a painting that you create upon the canvas of your life. Like an artist, you must decide what the theme, background, and foreground will be within your picture. Take time out to meditate and pray upon and contemplate this important decision. Be creative and maintain standards for yourself. But remember, if you do not make a decision, that's the same as deciding that everything shall remain the same. So I'll leave that one with you in case that resonates. Next chapter. You having the power to create it if you can visualize it. As you just have these few moments of quietness left, maybe just kind of create the perfect day in your mind. What would be your perfect day? Just noticing where your mind is right now. And just coming back to the wisdom in that card of creating the next chapter or phase of life. How often do you sit down and actually write out or scribble in a journal what you want out of life? Like a child daydreams what they may wish for. It's a really lovely practice to sit without the adult mind that we have, which rationalizes things, but just to sit and think about all the things that you would love to draw towards you. And the more that we actually become clear and have clarity on what we want, the more the universe can actually start creating and putting all the cogs in motion to perhaps deliver it eventually. Often we know what we don't want, but being really clear on what we do want can be very, very hard, especially when we then second guess and think, oh, of course we can't have that because of this and that. But the universe is mysterious and things can fall into place in the most unexpected ways. So just take that with you today as you start thinking about things perhaps. So gently coming back into your day. If you're lying down, just gently moving and hugging in. If you're seated and you just want to roll your shoulders and gently wiggle. And maybe bring a smile to your face. Whenever we draw a smile to our face, it's hard to be in a negative mindset. A smile and a moment of gratitude. Just a momentary thing to reset your mood or your day. So joining me seated. Take a moment just to ground again, and then hands heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.